Oh, you know what? I let it play the music, and now I'll probably be censored because Greg Allman would come and kill me if that otherwise. So, okay, so off air, welcome to the Big B and Little E Fantasy Football Show number 2. We're already 100% past last year because we only did one last year.
Yeah.
So, what loads of success we're having. So, okay, so you're telling me about this movie, The Infiltrator, off air.
Sounds good.
It's got Bryan Cranston and who else?
John Leguizamo or whatever his name is.
Okay, he's Catholic, but he had a Jewish wedding. Not holding that against the guy, just pointing it out.
Do I still have?
I'm wiping off my screen because you had a cat hair beard on my screen. So that's what you're seeing.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Do you see what I'm seeing?
I just see you.
Okay, Brad Furman, Diane Kruger, Amy Ryan, John Isaacs, and Benjamin Bratt.
Oh, Benjamin Bratt was in like Law and Order and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be good, I guess. It sounds like
Federal agent goes undercover as a money laundering businessman in an attempt to bring down Pablo Escobar's Medellin cartel in the 1980s.
So it's like a real story.
Yeah, it's based on actual happenings.
Actual stuff.
Yeah. You know how tough Rotten Tomatoes is. They give it a 65%, which is too bad for them.
They're kind of crazy.
So I thought I might go see that tonight.
That doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah.
It sounds all bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope everyone else is in line to see Ghostbusters.
Ugh. Yeah, I'll be missing that one.
Yeah.
I think the next movie we're going to see in the theaters is, of course, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'll probably see that. I hope the reviews are at least decent. 4-star, I hope. I don't know. We'll see.
So, on to the ever-popular world of fantasy football. Let's talk about that Ron Popeil draft we did first. You know Ron Popeil, right?
Yeah, the infomercial guy.
And his motto was?
I forget.
He had the rotisserie chicken thing, and he said, "You just set it and forget it."
Yeah.
So we did an MFL draft only league of 20 rounds with no kickers, correct?
Correct. Good thing you pointed that out because I didn't notice that.
PPR, which apparently this is why you know the experts are full of it. And I don't know if Joe Bryant's the same, or not Joe Bryant, if John Hansen is the same way. How the heck do the quarterbacks and defenses change rankings in PPR versus regular?
I don't know. It shouldn't make any difference at all.
Because apparently they're going to be catching passes. So
there's only 3 positions that should really matter.
One would think. So we had.
Every time I had to think about it, waiting for picks, I eased off a bit. I thought, well, this would be different. You know, we do it the standard way, and I'm not bored with that yet. But this is something different. It's worth trying it for once. It's a small $10 fee, and it'll be interesting. I just wish some of the thoughts I had came at the very end. It's like, I wish I thought of that when I had lots of draft picks still to go, and I could have tried this strategy. But it might be interesting. We'll see.
Oh, you know what? Sugar.
Just so people know that you don't set your own lineup. You have 20 men in your roster at 5 different positions. How many you have is up to you and how you draft it, but they just play the games each week, and then MFL will look and they'll put the highest scoring people you had at each position in your starting lineup, and then you'll add up your score and your opponents to see who wins, right?
Yeah. I have a sound clip for you since we've already been, probably going to be Greg Allman will come kill me since I played his song and I'm making millions of dollars doing this show.
I tell everybody too that we don't do. There's no free agent list. You can't drop anybody.
Yeah.
20 people we drafted, they're on your roster the rest of the year.
You'll love this clip because it really describes the draft process. You ready?
All right, good.
It's impossible. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
Do you remember that from the first Iron Man?
Yeah. Was that Robert?
That was Obadiah Stane, played by Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. So thank you for thank you for your $10 donation.
Well,
at some point, it's like I was going to talk about my lineup, but I'm going to bring it up on my phone. But I thought at some point I was kind of picking people, and I was like, oh, well, this guy's got one good game in him.
well, at the end, they got, you and I have joked in the past about we got to do a 20 team league. This proved to me, no, we're not doing that. I'm not doing it. It was so hard after a certain point where, like, this guy's not going to do anything. And this guy's just, they're bringing him along, not this year. He's not going to do anything. So it was tough to fill it out. But I said, well, everybody else has got the same problem. But I found a lot of picks stolen from me. Maybe they weren't valuable at the end, but they were going. It's like, damn, I wanted to take him, but oh well.
Here's your roster: Carson Palmer, Phillip Rivers. Okay, they're quarterbacks. I went really early and got Cam because I don't know, I wanted to do something different. So they're quarterbacks. They're like I'd say B+ quarterbacks. That's all good. Sean Drone, Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, that's a good one. Devonta Freeman. That's a good one. CJ Proise. I don't know anything about him really. Theo Riddick, that's a good one in PPR. DeAndre Washington, I don't know anything about that guy. So, I think you've got 2 really good running backs there, especially PPR. I would say Devonta Freeman's really good.
Yeah.
Tyler.
I'd say 3 or 2.5 if you went for Riddick.
I think Riddick's going to be really good this year, especially PPR. Then you got wide receiver. You got Boyd, Victor Cruz. Well, there was a waste of a pick. Fitzgerald.
He might be back.
Fitzgerald's good. Vincent Jackson, I could take or leave him. Willie Snead, Golden Tate. I think your wide receivers, you got at least 2 good ones there. I think Tyler Boyd will surprise you.
I do too. They got to throw to someone there. They lost 2 receivers, and their tight end is hurt.
Then you've got Kobe Fleener, who's the flavor of the week at tight end. Will Tye, who, you'll have him in one game. He scores 4 touchdowns.
He was the last pick.
Clive Walford, who hopefully he's good to go now. Then you went with this strategy. We talked about it one of the nights because people need to understand these are 8-hour picks. And you can take the full 8 hours. So this thing started last Sunday and it ended today. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, there's one last pick to go. The guy's taking 8 hours to make it.
So you decided I'm going to take 3 defenses. And you got 3 decent defenses. You got Eagles, Steelers to complete the Pennsylvania defenses, and Houston Texans. So, looking at the other teams, you're probably, it's hard to tell. I would say you're a little above the fold. I think all of us are just a little above the fold if you did a good job, or you're below if you did a bad job.
To me, the always necessary luck is going to come into it. facing your opponent at the right week, when they're not strong, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all luck. Let's take a step back. So we were trying to get Mitchell Gunther Jr. in this league. That didn't happen, but we did get the esteemed Mr. Braswell. Let's look at his team. He's got Blake Bortles and Brock Osweiler at QB. Okay. He took Bortles in the 8th round, so I'm okay with that. His running backs really, I think, leave a little to be desired. He's really prospecting here. He's got Devontae Booker, who supposedly is eventually going to start. Kenneth Dixon, who you both like. Kenyon Drake, who I just really don't think I'd get any of those Miami running backs.
Yeah.
Thomas Rawls, who we addressed last week, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not going to do as much as a lot of people think. I don't think.
CJ Spiller, who he said to me that was a messed up pick.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart, who he's decent, he's just never healthy for the whole year. Wide receiver, he probably did a good bit better here than I did. I don't know about you. I think
I took Devonta, so I passed on any really, really decent receiver and just tried to patch up the best I could with PPR guys.
He got Cobb, who's really good PPR. Cooper, who's good in both. Doxson, who I understand why I got him. Me and Jimmy are both Redskin fans. I mean, I want to get Dotson in UFFL. You probably have already figured that out. I just don't know when I'd have to go to get him. DeAndre, who is uncommittedly, I think, going to wind up being a top 5 receiver. Tajay Sharp, who, he's just, you're hoping for one game, I guess. Torrey Smith, who was another, he said that was a mistake.
I think so.
Jalen Strong.
He was disappointing, I read, with Texas last year. They weren't happy with him, so he might be actually fighting for a roster spot. I don't know.
Kevin White, who he got him in the 6th round, which
Well, we're all hoping. Well, I am, because I got him in UFFL that he's going to show something this year.
Yeah, he'll be good. Then he got the second best tight end in football for fantasy, Jordan Reed, who, when he's healthy, he's the second best tight end in football. Jason Witten, I guess that's just hoping Reed stays healthy. He took 2 Ds, the Bears defense, and the Jets defense. Okay. I mean, defenses are kind of, who knows?
You don't know.
Now we can talk about the championship team. Okay, so I took Goff when in the 16th round when basically it was him, Kaepernick, or RG3. And he has a pretty easy week 7 game. I remember that. For my stud QB of Cam Newton when he's on bye.
Okay.
So I got the best quarterback off the board. Let me just state that.
All right.
We're in agreement there, right?
Cam?
Yeah.
I would prefer – I think this year Aaron Rodgers is going to bounce back, but they're both good.
Aaron Rodgers, it seems like, is quite the not nice person. Because the guy I saw on Entertainment Tonight, his brother's on The Bachelor, and he's saying he doesn't communicate with his family. Aaron Rodgers doesn't communicate with his family whatsoever.
Really? I mean, his brothers and sisters and all that?
Yeah.
Huh.
So who knows what's...
He has enough time. He's got that, what is she, movie star?
Olivia Munn, yeah. Maybe it's his family who's the not nice people, too. Who knows?
Point of view.
Okay, I got Cameron Artis-Payne as running back again. He's just going to take over when Jonathan Stewart gets hurt. LeGarrette Blount.
Dan Hansen says he's nothing special.
Yeah. Well, he probably isn't, but they have a good offensive line.
Yeah.
LeGarrette Blount, who, again, he's just in there for the one game when he does really well.
Yeah.
Matt Forte, who I was kind of hesitant to take, but Joe Bryant has him so high in the PPR thing. I'm like, wow, really? And I was like, okay.
He might be all right with the Jets, but again, he needs Fitzpatrick to be signing.
I got him in the 3rd round, the 9th pick, so I felt that was a pretty good value. Then I got David Johnson, who all indication is he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Duke Johnson, who is decent PPR.
He'll be very good at PPR.
Shane Vereen, another good PPR guy.
If they use him.
Yeah.
They just never did use him very much last year. We'll see.
Jonathan Williams, who I just heard was arrested this morning. So awesome job, Ethan.
Wait a minute. The one guy suspended, now he got arrested?
Yeah. Let me play this again.
It's impossible. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
So, okay, that was a great job. Then wide receiver, I have Keenan Allen, who I don't want to say I had a brain fart there, but he has a pretty high PPR. I guess he does well PPR.
Yeah, he is good at that.
Then I got Philip Dorsett, who I thought when I went in to get one of my later receivers, I thought, well, maybe Dorsett will come back to me. It turns out I could get in 4 rounds later.
Yeah.
Then I got Will Fuller, who I guess is going to be the bomb catcher there. So we'll see.
Maybe.
Devontae Parker, I don't know. He's a Miami wide receiver. Laquan Treadwell, who, like Tyler Boyd, I think is going to be a good PPR receiver. And Robert Woods, who, I don't know. He's got him high in PPR. Does he catch a lot of these little?
Hanson didn't have him down for PPR at all. So I don't know what
okay. Then I got, as tight end, I got Gates, Julius Thomas, and Ben Watson. Well, one of them is going to score 10 points in a week.
probably. I mean, that's not real bad.
Then the D, I got Carolina D, the best D on the board.
5th best according to Hanson.
Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree. And this was the Cora special. I said, okay, I'm going to try to get the Redskins D, which didn't happen because someone else got the Redskins D.
Yep.
And she said, okay, get San Francisco's defense. And I was like, okay.
When you did that last night, I pulled up Hanson's projections and was like, where are they? Hey, we're number 32.
Watch, I'll win the league because of them.
That would be ironic, but I said, wow, they're at the bottom. I didn't think they were at the bottom. I thought someone else would do it. They were dead last, according to them.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, you know? So,
You're counting on Carolina.
yeah, I mean, hopefully I only need them 1 week, right?
Well, you know what? As I told you, my strategy is that I think it's good to have a few, and I chose 3 because you don't know how matchups are. Any given week, you know, for me, maybe Pittsburgh will dominate somebody,
Right.
and have the highest of any team. All right, I got them on my roster. I got them in my lineup that week. I was considering 4, but then it just got to the point by the time I could take 4, there's nobody good left, so I backed off on that.
So,
Sean M. guy, I was all ready yesterday to take a 3rd quarterback for the same reason. And the pick before me, Sean M., he did me in. He took Sam Bradford. I had 3 choices. I had Gabbard, Sanchez, butt tackle, and
but fumble.
and I had Bradford, and I looked him up, and I decided Bradford's the best of the 3. And I didn't get him pick before. He grabbed him for his 3rd quarterback.
Oh, well.
But when I looked at his roster, I felt like, well, okay, because I forget who, but his 2 quarterbacks are both questionable.
Oh, okay. I closed it, or I'll tell you who it was.
Maybe that was why. No, that was why the guy took Kyle Rudolph from me, because he's got Eifert, he's questionable, and somebody else is like, yeah, he needed to get a sure tight end, so that's why he took him.
You also had and I bring up the email now, well, for lack of a better term, traditional draft.
Yes.
Okay, where actual real people, and you can make free agent moves, which is a good thing. Not saying you did bad, but it's always good to be able to have options.
It is.
So you have, where were you picking in this? 3rd, right?
I was 3rd pick.
Okay. So you have, as your QBs, Manning and Stafford.
8th and 11th rounds.
Nothing, spectacular, nothing horrible.
They should be fine.
we'll say B quarterbacks. Then as your RBs, you have Elliott, Anderson, Matthews, Gore, and Sims. I think Matthews is going to surprise some people. I think was Matthews one I sort of talked you into.
Yep.
And of course, Elliott. Everybody likes Elliott.
Well, again, I wanted Gore, and then 2 rounds later, I still got him because he was still sitting there. So I ended up getting both.
Well, we're going to do a segment after we talk about this draft called, and I should have gotten a graphic of like Dolly Parton in her heyday or something, called Total Busts. And so I'm going to tell you a little story about somebody who was my total bust of last year, somebody that like nearly ruined fantasy football for you. And then I'm going to name to you who's going to be a total bust of this year. So, okay. So that maybe you should think about Gore for that. But onwards.
Good considering how bad the team was last year. I have faith in him. He's played 5 straight seasons of 16 games. He hasn't been injured again. Early in his career he was.
Onwards and upwards. Then you have Robinson. That's Allen Robinson. Cooper. That's Amari Cooper.
Yes.
Riley
the racist.
Yeah. Marvin Jones, who's with the Lions. That's a good pick. Not that the first 2 were bad, but I'm just saying that especially. Dante Moncrief.
He's going to be a surprise this year.
Vincent Jackson, who you apparently love, and Mohamed Sanu.
I'm going with Hanson on Jackson. He says he's going to bounce back strong this year. It's all about whether he stays in the field because they didn't draft a wide receiver in that team, Tampa Bay, and they did not take any receiver from free agency. So they're going with Evans and Jackson. Just got to stay out there. He should be fine.
And Mohamed Sanu is impressing people at OTAs.
OTAs, yeah. I wasn't going to take a 6th one, but he was sitting there, and I decided, take it. And whoever's not doing well after 4, I usually take a second tight end to the bye, and I got Fleener in week 5. I just decided whichever wide receiver is dogging it after 4 weeks, I'll dump him and get a tight end to fill in that week. Okay,
Vincent Jackson, you'll be dropped. Kobe Fleener was your tight end, who is,
awesome.
This year's what's the name of the wide receiver you kept taking?
Robert Meacham.
Yeah, okay, he's this year's Robert Meacham. Brandon McManus, he's a kicker. I feel like that's all you have to say.
He's a kicker.
Minnesota D. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's a defense. Who knows? It's not like they're ranked 32 like San Francisco.
No, Hanson has a number 3.
Who does he have number 1?
Houston.
Oh, okay. I think you said he has Carolina number 5?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a lot less faith in them having Josh Norman gone. So it was pretty.
You got Seattle number 7.
It was a pretty good draft for you. We should some things of note about this draft. You said someone took 2 running backs and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, with the 16th round pick, he took a 3rd one. Guess who it was?
Cameron Artis-Payne?
No, but you did mention him.
Jonathan Williams.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he took him because that guy's a pretty big born-again guy. And now, Jonathan Williams was arrested for DUI. So it's sort of like, wow. I mean.
Yeah. I was like, wow, he took the 3rd one.
Oh, well. So, is there anything else worth noting about that draft? I just found it strange the guy took.
Ever since I can remember, after a few years, he decided that running back, I guess he got burned by running backs on his teams, and he just decided they're not worth the trouble. And he just started drafting other positions and just picking up whatever eventually at running back and going with a few. So even though he's had time to think about it being away, he still believes in that strategy. We'll see. I don't know. This team, I struggled most every year. I mean, last year I thought I had a really good team. I took Marshawn Lynch with the 1st round pick and Jeremy Hill with the 2nd. Oh, man, I got running backs. And then you helped me out, and I'm not blaming you. I thought, those are good picks since the studs were gone. You got me T.Y. Hilton and Emmanuel Sanders. And you know what? When in doubt, make sure you get good quarterbacks. I mean, they should be able to find a way to get these guys the ball. I mean, those first 4 picks were just terrible.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I went 5 and 7, and I said, "How the hell did I win 5 games when my first 4 picks were such bomb outs?"
Yeah. Well, that sort of brings me to this segment, and then I had an article we were just going to talk about real quick that I wanted to. Like I said, I should have gotten like a big picture of Dolly Parton or Heyday to call total bust.
Mm-hmm.
And these are picks you make that just. I use this example of last year. I was sitting there. I had the first pick in Jimmy's Pasadena Pharaohs draft, so I decided, okay, I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell. So it comes back to me, and I'm like, okay, I know I have to take a running back because Le'Veon Bell is not playing. Was he suspended 4 games or 2 games?
2.
Okay, 2. So one of my picks was Justin Forsett, which he actually worked out fine. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a number 1 wide receiver. And I've got it down to these 2 choices. Who do you like, Ethan? And I'm like, well, I've never had a Texan because I really have never had a Texan. So let's get Alshon Jeffrey. And I'm naming Alshon Jeffrey my total bust of last year because I realized if I had taken DeAndre Hopkins, I'd be sitting with the Fairies championship trophy and $700 in my pocket. So
made a difference, huh?
My total bust for this year, and this is somebody you're going to take too early, and they will ruin one of your teams based on the expectations. I realize you're probably expecting him to be a wide receiver 2, maybe even 3. But my total bust for this year, who I'm going to avoid at all costs. Are you ready?
I'm trying to look and see who you might be talking about here.
Because you'll have the choice between, say, him and Alan Hearns, and you'll take him. Now I'm going to tell you who it is. You ready?
Okay.
Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
He's going to be a complete flop for you this year, especially where you take him.
Because of his quarterback or another reason?
I think he's faded a lot, and his quarterback. Yeah.
I saw a piece the other day that says he's healthy, he's back, he's ready. All right.
Do you have a total bust?
That I think will bust this year?
Yeah. That people will take way too early.
Let me see.
He'll lose championships for people.
He'll lose championships for people. Well, I mean, if they don't sign Fitzmagic, then yeah, Brandon Marshall. But
okay,
if they do sign him, then he'll be fine, and you'll be happy you got him, probably at a good price. But I mean, another one is it's so risky now with Des Bryant. If Romo goes down again, forget it. What a wasted pick, Des Bryant. You don't have anyone that can get him the ball.
Yeah. Well, I had one last article I want to talk about. Let me make this on this side of the screen. Give me 1 second. And that was, I thought you'd find this interesting. So next year, I know you're not really super knowledgeable about this, but you know something about this. 4 of the 6 leading rushers in college football are returning to college football. So they are, I only know one of them, Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Royce Freeman. These are the top 6. Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Wayne Gallman, Elijah Hood, Jalen Hurd, Marlon Mack. That's going to be your pick next year in a lot of drafts, Marlon Mack. Samajay Perine, all coming back. So this whole draft analysis is by Chad Reuter on NFL.com. I think you have to do that sort of thing on the internet. He's saying, will this be one of the top running back draft classes of all time?
Right.
So here we go. Here's his top 5 running back draft classes. I'll just start naming the year. See if you can name any of the people in it. His number 1, 1952. Can you name any of the running backs in it?
52. That's too early for Gale Sayers. Night Train Lane.
He was a corner. Okay, you got. I'm like Alex Trebek. I've got the answers right in front of me, so I'm going to sound like an arrogant jerk. I did remember as soon as I saw the first name, number one. So you got Ollie Matson, who is number 3 overall. This guy I had never heard of. Ed Modzelewski for the Pittsburgh. Modzelewski, yeah, it's Modzellewski. Number 6 overall for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The King, Hugh McElhenney. And you know why they called him the King? Because he ran with such majesty. Number 9 overall. And, of course, Ramblin' Frank Gifford, number 11 overall. So you have 3 Hall of Fame running backs in that class, all taken in the first round.
Who didn't the Hall of Fame?
Matson, McElhenney. Oh, who didn't make the Hall of Fame?
Oh, Modzelewski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then you got number 2, 1957. You should get one of the running backs in this, if not 2, in this draft class.
Jim Brown.
Yeah. Want to try for another one?
Dale Sayers?
No, he's 65. Think gambling.
I don't know.
Paul Golden Boy Horning. He was the number 1 pick of the Green Bay Packers. John Artnett, never heard of him.
Nope.
He was number 2 overall, first round. Jim Brown, number 6.
Wow.
So you got two or three Hall of Famers in there. Now this one might be a little easier because it's more recent. We'll see how many of these you can name. 2008. Who's in there?
2008. Steven Jackson.
Nah.
It came out in 2008.
It's somebody I drafted is in there.
Somebody that's still playing.
Oh, there's a lot of people still.
Charles.
Correct. You got Darren McFadden, Jonathan Stewart. Darren McFadden was number 4 overall. Oakland Raiders, first round. Jonathan Stewart, first round, number 13 overall. Felix Jones, first round, number 22 overall, Dallas Cowboys. Rashard Mendenhall, first round, number 23 overall, Pittsburgh Steelers. Chris Gunshot Johnson, number 24 overall, Tennessee Titans. Matt Forte, second round, number 44 overall.
Yeah.
Ray Elevator Rice, second round, number 55 overall. Kevin Smith, I think he's done, Kevin Smith, isn't he? The guy who used to play for the Lions, Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Third round, number 64 overall. And Jamal Charles, third round, number 73 overall. He says it's the deepest class, but he's not sure any of these guys get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Then we got 1983. Can you name one person from that?
That was when they said it was a quarterback year. 83 running backs. Joe Morris.
No, you got a 2,000-yard rusher. That's a hint.
Oh. Mr. Glasses. L.A. Rams.
Yep, Eric Dickerson. So you got him number 2 overall. This is number 4 class, by the way. Kurt Warner. With the Seahawks, number 3 overall. James Jones, number 13 overall with the Lions. Gary Anderson with the Chargers, number 20 overall. And Roger Craig, second round, number 49 overall. He even goes on to say the 83 draft is rightfully known for the 6 quarterbacks selected in the first round, including 3 Pro Football Hall of Famers, Elway, Kelly, Marino. But Dickerson also has a bust in Canton. and many people believe the 49ers all-purpose threat, Craig, was a bargain and should be enshrined in Canton. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, last class. You ready for it? I'm thinking you'll know at least one of these guys. 1969, and no, it's not Gale Sayers, but there's somebody, another 2,000-yard rusher in there.
OJ.
Yeah. Orenthal James, Juice, first round, first pick, Buffalo Bills. Larry.
Slasherwitz.
What's that?
Slashy McSlasherwitz.
Slashy McSlasherwitz. Larry Smith, number 8 overall, Los Angeles Rams. I've actually only heard of one or two other guys on his list here. Ron Johnson, number 20 overall, Cleveland Browns. Calvin Hill, number 24 overall, Dallas Cowboys. So you've heard of some of these guys.
Yeah.
Ed Podolak.
Podolak, KC.
Yeah, 48. Mercury Morris, who, of course, we've all heard of.
Miami, okay.
3rd round, number 63 overall. And, of course, I've heard of this guy, Larry Brown, 8th round, number 191 overall, Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame, Larry Brown, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he is. If not, he should be. He's a Redskin. Come on. Okay, then we have our honorable mentions.
Well, some Redskins don't get in.
All right, well, Theismann doesn't deserve it. So we have our oh, okay. He says Hill was also an important part of the Cowboys' surge to the top of the league in the early 70s. So you had heard of Calvin Hill, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I had never heard of him.
God, yeah.
Okay.
Who's his son?
No idea.
Stand out at Duke and NBA. No, I drew a blank. Grant Hill.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Here's his honorable mention classes, okay? You have to remember, I think he's looking more at the depth. It's more depth than quality. Wait a second. It's more quantity than quality. Okay, that's what I meant to say. So he has 1972. Can you name one guy from 1972? Think run out of bounds. Franco Harris. Yep. Think run out of bounds, I was about to say.
Franco Harris.
Yeah, so he's got Franco Harris, number 13 overall, Pittsburgh Steelers. Robert Newhouse. Yeah, 35 overall. Lydell Mitchell.
San Diego.
Baltimore, 48th overall. Lawrence McCutcheon.
Rams.
Yep, 70th, 3rd round. Then he's got 1997. You can name at least 2 of these guys.
Running back, late 90s. Marshall Faulk.
Nope.
No, he was earlier. He was around over. That's right.
There's a giant great in there.
97. Giants. Rodney Hampton.
Hey, you're going to be kicking yourself when I tell you. Work done.
Tiki Barber.
Yep, Tiki. Antoine Smith, Buffalo Bills. Tiki Barber. Corey Dillon. And Deuce Staley.
Okay.
Then he's got, and this is kind of a cop-out because I really only consider one of these guys really good for any significant length of time. 2001. Can you name one of them? Probably only one.
I don't know.
Probably won you some fantasy football championships.
What team?
Think San Diego. That'll give it away.
Oh, Tomlinson.
Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson. Then number 5 overall, 1st round. Deuce McAllister, number 23 overall. Anthony Thomas, number 38 overall. Lamont Jordan, who had like 1 or 2 good years.
Yeah.
Number 49 overall. Travis Henry, again, 1 or 2 good years. Buffalo Bills, and Rudy Johnson, Cincinnati Bengals. So there you go. What do you think of that list?
Okay.
You're good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right. Well, when do you want to do this again? Next month, before the start of big drafts?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll revise our top 10 list.
Yeah, they should be different by then.
Maybe. We'll also have sleepers and busts.
All right. Well, get your Dolly Parton video up there.
That's for the total busts.
Oh.
Would you prefer like Sofia Vergara or somebody else? I mean, do you have any?
Adrienne Barbeau, something, yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau. Wow, you're really pushing it there. What about Jane Mansfield? Total bust.
Too far back.
Total bust, because that's Alshon Jeffrey, and I'm telling you, that's going to be Demaryius this year. There's some people who are going to pull the trigger on him and lose championships.
Yeah, I'm well, unless I'm stuck because everyone avoided him and I need someone, I'm not intending to draft him this year. Or Sanders, staying away.
Yeah, stick away from those guys. Maybe Virgil Green.
I think, well, again, if he can stay healthy, Jeffrey should be better this year.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoy the movie tonight.
It sounds like there's no way I could find it to be terrible. We'll see how good it is, but it sounds like it's pretty good. They say a lot. From beginning to end, it just has a grip, it says.
And we might go see BFG tomorrow. We're thinking about it. Candy suggested at Sun Valley, she said, do you want to go see Independence Day? And I'm like, are you serious? Even at Sun Valley? I'm not sure I want to see that for free on TV.
Candy just wants to see. There's another Helmsworth or whatever his name is in there. She wants to see the other one.
Oh, yeah. We watched Vacation. Did I tell you that on HBO or something? The new Vacation?
Oh, the one I took Maria to?
I thought it was funny.
I mean, it had its moments. That whole scene in the hotel room with him walking around with the boner was funny as hell.
Yeah. Well, the thing I think was at the end, it tried to be too, like, sappy at times. It was trying to be too, like, oh, you know, with their marriage being ruined and all, it's just like, oh, come on, just still be funny.
I know.
It was too much of that.
Those moments that were good, though. It did.
Yeah. Especially when he's like, he says to, I thought the funniest line was when they're getting on those ATVs, right? And the Chris Hemsworth character says to the Ed Helms characters, Ed Helms says to the Chris Hemsworth character, do you got a helmet? And he says, because he's trying to do that Texas accent, he's like, yeah, I keep them in the garage right next to the tampons. I thought that was like the funniest line in the whole movie. But it was just, it was okay. If I had gone and seen that in the movie theaters, I would have been disappointed because it was sort of like, this is it? But it's good. Good.
I know I had some laughs at it. It's to see it with I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it to see it with you guys either as much, but Maria wanted to see it, so it was okay.
Yeah, it had too much sappiness in it at times.
Yeah.
And what's his name? They shouldn't have had Chevy Chase and
Beverly.
Yeah, that was a waste. It was like
at the end, that was like, all right, you can end the movie now. Let's get it over with.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then what was the last movie? The last movie I saw in theaters was Civil War down on Father's Day. So.
Oh, was it?
At Sun Valley. So.
I saw that. Oh, you saw that a second time. Okay.
I was on
I saw the
time 3 actually.
I told you I saw The Shallows with what's her name?
Blake Lively. Was that good?
It was okay, but I really didn't like the ending. At the end, when he was like, okay, how's she going to get out of this situation? And the way they chose was like, oh, brother, come on. Sharks biting through, solid steel. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the reviews I read said the end was almost like ruined the whole movie.
It did. And the way she killed it, too, was like, oh, man. I won't give it away in case you want to go see it, just for the bikini shots. But they're worth it.
Yeah, well, she does have an epic booty.
She's head to toe, man. She got in shape for that movie. I'll tell you that.
So, all right. Well, you have to let me know when I talk to you this week how this Bryan Cranston movie was, and we'll plan on the Saturday or Sunday before all these drafts start.
I'll say right now, it's probably definitely going to be worth you going to the Sun Valley Cheapies to see it when it gets there.
Okay.
Hopefully it does.
All right. Well, we will see everybody probably around the same time in August, and then we'll try to get into a more weekly format. All righty.
Hopefully, quickly that well, it takes a while usually with everyone to vote. You know, we got to vote for the draft dates for G2K and USFL.
Yeah.
I generally like to see them set before I choose a collective bargaining date because I don't want to have to move it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
All righty. I will talk to you later, and we'll see everybody in the middle of August.
All right. See you, everybody. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Is that done?